Hey guys, it's Joe from AmericanTrucks, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Magnaflow MF Series Black dual exhaust system with a rear exit, fitting all 09 to 18 Ram 1500s with the 5.7 and a factory dual exhaust. This exhaust is going to be perfect for any Ram owner out there looking for a nice middle grounder in terms of volume. This is going to give you a nice deep and clean tone with no rasp or drone, and on top of that you get some awesome blackout looks with this high temperature black powder coating. So like I just said, this is going to get a strong 3 out of 5 on our wake to neighbor scale. I think you could really easily live with this exhaust if you have to commute to work. This isn't going to drive you nuts. There was no drone when we were out testing this thing, and the tone was nice and clean too, not raspy. Not bad at all. Really respect the sound that comes out of this Magnaflow. There are a couple of other great build quality benefits as well. This kit is completely mandrel-bent throughout, which means the walls of the tubing throughout the length of the bend, they're gonna stay nice and smooth, which is gonna promote a nice clean flow, give you a great noise, and promote a little bit of power as well. I don't think it's gonna break the single digits in terms of power, but it's definitely something to think about. Now, if you live on the East Coast or somewhere where it rains or snows frequently, there's salt down on the road in the wintertime, this is gonna be a great kit for you. 409 stainless steel throughout the length of this thing, and on our tailpipes here, we have a high temp black powder coating, which is not just there to add to the looks, but basically serves as another layer of protection on top of that stainless steel. So if you're going for the blackout look, that's gonna be an awesome touch, but on top of that, you get a little bit more durability out of these as well. Now, if you weren't a huge fan of this blackout look, you're looking to go more the chrome style for the rear of your Ram, Magnaflow offers this in a polished stainless finish as well, and in fact, you even save a couple of bucks when you're going with that one, around 20 bucks. Pricing for this kit, however, we're looking at around 875 bucks, and that is really a bargain when you consider this thing is made out of stainless steel. You got the dual exhaust going on here, there's a lot of metal in this kit, and the build quality is bar none throughout the entire length, so you really are getting your money's worth with the MF Series Black right here. Install for this is going to be really easy. Build quality is really high here, so everything fits together nice and easily, no pipe expanders necessary, and to get the factory exhaust off, no cutting either. I'm gonna give it an easy 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. I think this will take you 2 hours if you come prepared, so without any further ado, let me show you what tools you'll need and how it's done. Tools required for this install are going to be an impact gun or ratchet, small extension, 16 and 15 millimeter sockets, some spray lubricant like PB Blaster, a shop rag or two, and a really helpful tool for this will be an exhaust hanger removal tool. So we gotta get our factory exhaust off first before we do any installing for our new exhaust. And we're gonna start with these 2 tailpipes here. They're held on with 2 15 millimeter clamps up behind the muffler. So we're gonna loosen those up and then remove the tailpipes. So this is a little bit tight for the impact gun. If your impact isn't gonna fit, you could probably get this loosened up with a ratchet as well. So now we have this tailpipe loosened up at the muffler. We're just gonna lubricate up this exhaust hanger so we can pull it out, and then we should be able to take this all down. If you need to remove the tip, you can remove that with a 13 millimeter socket. That might make things a little bit easier. So now I'm just gonna take an exhaust hanger removal tool, and I'm just gonna work this back to start with. And then I'm just gonna remove this bottom one, like so. And with all that stuff out of the way, we're just gonna grab our tailpipe, and this should pull right off the truck. It might take a little bit of work up at the muffler, but you should be able to work that right out. Now we're just gonna do the same thing for our other tailpipe. One thing I did wanna note is this clamp is a little bit tough to get to. You might need a small extension to reach that. But we're just gonna loosen that up with a 15 millimeter socket, work it out of the hanger, and pull it right down. One thing that is different about the driver's side is there is another hanger on this tailpipe. We need to do the same thing and pull that out before we pull the tailpipe off the truck. So now we have our clamp loosened up as well as both of the hangers removed. We should be able to pull out this tailpipe as well. So the muffler is going to be pretty much the same exact process. However, we are going to be swapping over to the 16mm socket up from the 15 for this clamp specifically, because this one is a little bit bigger socket size to get this nut off. And then there's 2 hangers at the rear of the muffler that we're going to open up, and this should pop right off as well. Now, once we get this muffler out of the way, we'll be able to start to work on our new exhaust. So now that we have our factory muffler and tailpipes off of our Dodge Ram, I figured we should put it next to our new Magnaflow kit and point out some of the key differences between the two. First of all, our new Magnaflow over here, 409 stainless throughout. You also have those mandrel-bends. They're going to increase horsepower. That stainless steel is going to be great for durability as well. That black powder coating on the tailpipes and tips, another layer of protection from the elements, but again, it's going to add to that blackout look. A real improvement over these small chrome tips from the factory. Now I figured we'd work our way from the muffler back over some of the diameter changes with this kit, and basically that's going to contribute to our flow of exhaust being increased, which is going to increase power and torque. So before the muffler, we have a 3-inch inlet pipe. That's going to be the same for both kits. Now into the muffler, we're going to be ditching that big restricted factory muffler that we got from the factory with Magnaflow straight through design. It's going to be a little bit slimmer, a little bit more compact, and that's going to contribute to most of our noise here, but it's not going to be as restrictive as that factory muffler. Again, just increasing flow. Out of the back of the muffler, we have 2 2.5-inch pipes on our new Magnaflow. That's an upgrade in diameter from the factory. These are about 2 1/4, so just a 1/4-inch upgrade in diameter. Now moving back here through the tailpipes, we have all those mandrel bends again. That's gonna promote a nice smooth flow. And then we get to the tips. This is gonna be the biggest difference that you could see once this Magnaflow is installed on this truck. We're ditching these small 4-inch factory style chrome tips for some awesome 5-inch blacked out tips. These things are downright massive. So without any further ado, we're gonna need a couple of clamps. We're gonna grab the muffler section, head back to our truck, and get this thing installed. So the first thing you're gonna do is grab the largest 3-inch clamp in the kit. You just wanna put that around the inlet portion of your muffler, and then you can slide that down over the inlet pipe. Now once you have that in place right there, we're just gonna move back here to our rubber hangers and get our hanger arms started in the isolators. Now, it might be helpful to take these hanger isolators off, lubricate them a little bit so you can install them straight back on. Now, after that, it's gonna be really simple. We're gonna take one of the smaller clamps included in the kit, get that around our over axle pipe, and we're just gonna slide that in place. We're gonna start with this one on the right here, and this is the one that does not have the exhaust hanger on. That's good. So now we're gonna fish in our other over axle pipe, and this is the one that actually does have the hanger on it. And I would get that started in first, and then you could install this to the back of the muffler. So now we're just gonna grab our tailpipe, and we're gonna get that started in our over axle pipe. Now we're just gonna do the same exact thing for the other side. Don't forget to slide on your clamps. Now, this last hanger right here is going to put up a little bit of a fight. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna lubricate it. I'm gonna take it all the way off, slip it onto our exhaust, and these top two are a little bit easier to get than the bottom one. I'm just gonna pull up and slide that in place. So now we're just gonna run through and tighten up these clamps, 15mm socket to do so. Before we tighten them down though, you wanna make sure your tips are situated exactly where you need them to be, because this is gonna lock in the position of our exhaust. One tip I have for these, a little bit more clearance, just turn them up sideways like that. So we have those two clamps on the over axle pipe, two in the back of the muffler, and just to wrap things up here, this 3-inch clamp on our inlet pipe. Now guys, that is gonna do it for me. It's also gonna do it for the Magnaflow MF Series Black dual exhaust system with a rear exit, fitting all 09 to 18 Ram 1500s with a factory dual exhaust and the 5.7 Hemi. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more like this one. Keep it right here at American Trucks for all things Ram.